Yeah, Doug Fine, an amazing, powerful speaker. However, you know, I'm on the speakers committee, and I introduce a lot of speakers. And, you know, some of them I'm like, okay, they came, and some of them I'm really excited about. This year, I think the most exciting speaker I have is the one that I'm about to introduce right now. Right now, we're going to have Michael Krawitz. He is the Executive Director of Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access. The reason why I'm so excited is because he is working to get the Veterans Administration to approve of medical cannabis for PTSD. If he can get that federal administration to approve of cannabis, then that is the linchpin that will make the federal government have to admit that we have to reschedule medical cannabis as a medicine and no longer as a Schedule I drug. Is that exciting or what? Yeah! That's the federal level, folks. That's what we've been working for. Let's really hear it from Michael Krawitz.
Thanks, everybody. It's really great to be here. Hempfest 2014. Michael Krawitz, Executive Director, Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access. Thank you. As he said, we are trying to get the VA to look into cannabis for post-traumatic stress. I don't think I really need to tell this crowd a heck of a lot about the great value that cannabis has in your life. You know, I think you figured that out. But even so, it's really hard to imagine how important it really can be for the right, treatment for the right person. It can make such a dramatic difference. And we're looking at, suicide rates of veterans that are just unacceptable. And, two sides of that. One is we're using drugs that are coming from the VA. Often veterans will tell me they sent me home with a big bag of pills. They told me to go home and feel better. And it just doesn't work that way. Some of those drugs in that bag actually can even cause suicide. It's not a good picture. So if we could reduce the amount of those drugs that we're taking, and at the same time add a treatment that really works, that really helps, that really can give you a benefit, that who knows, maybe that can also lower that suicide rate a little bit. It's not like, children with epilepsy where you see the seizure immediately go away. It's a little hard to put your finger on a suicide not happening. But I can assure you it's worth the effort, and I can assure you that people like me and the cohorts that I've come to call them the kind of cannabis special forces, we're out there working really hard, and we're not going to give up till we get that done. So, thank you. This is Peter McWilliams' stage, and just recently I was looking at some video of Peter McWilliams, and I just want to say a couple of things about that. The guy was such a phenomenal, inspiration to so many people. He had so much life in him and just so much joy. And I think, I'm just guessing, but I think that was his thing. I mean, that's what really people bought his books about. There was a best-selling author. And Peter McWilliams, I think, if I could just scratch a little bit into what he might say on a day like today, enjoy this. Enjoy this. You deserve this. Enjoy this. This is really, really, really cool. And I think that, we deserve this. So enjoy the day, enjoy the herb, enjoy the camaraderie, and don't be afraid to really just show that you're enjoying it. Don't be afraid to have a little joy. I think that's what Peter would send us away with. So I don't know, these guys got a lot going on here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I'll be back here again tomorrow talking a little bit more about some of the stuff that's going on and some of the ways that you can help out. One last thing I will say in short, we're talking about post-traumatic stress. It's not allowed under the medical marijuana law in Washington State yet. We need to add post-traumatic stress as a qualifying condition in Washington State. So I implore you guys, anybody that's in a position to talk to anybody that lives here, works here, or is in any position of authority here in Washington State to try to get that done and try to help us do that. As long as it's legal, you can use cannabis for post-traumatic stress, but that doesn't give you any protection from drug testing in the federal program. Only when you're using it legally under doctor's orders do you get that protection. So I'll leave you with that little bit of thought. Help us try to figure this out. How do we get this, in the land of legal cannabis, we ought to be able to figure out how to add another condition. This shouldn't be undoable. So thanks, everybody.